Hello, I'm Chris, this is Gross Models, and this is another new part work that started. It's another one that I am not going to be continuing with, but as issue 1 is cheap, I thought I'd pick it up and have a look through. Now interestingly, it's also 1/18 scale, which is the same as the X-Wing, so I'll have a propeller that I'll be able to compare to the X-Wing and get a bit of real world scale into the X-Wing build. So without further ado, I shall get the bits off of the large card and we'll see what's on there. On the back of the card we do have, as I build a multifunction model of the Spitfire. The main thing that this build seems to have, I mean obviously it's a Spitfire and you know they're classic plane and great and will look good, but it has this dynamic display stand which has got little rods that stick out of it that move to simulate flight, and so the rotating propeller and things like that. So it's got stuff, it's got indicators on the upper side of the wings and landing gear that opens and closes, so it's quite an involved kit. Yeah, let's get everything off the paper and we'll see what we got. Okay, here we have the parts. Now the most important thing, these are metal. The nose cone as well is metal, so it's a lot of metal obviously in parts of this. Considering these are going to be motorized and spinning, it's quite impressive that they're doing those out of a type of metal. The magazine we'll come to momentarily. As ever in these you've got the you know, leave a note with your news agent to subscribe, which I won't worry about. Special offers, if you do subscribe you get for $5.99 issue 3 free, engine first part of the fuselage, a free poster, and issue 2 cheap as well. So yeah, electronic parts and some building of the thing. Ways to order. If you do subscribe you get a free issue, a poster, binder, a mug, and a metal display plaque. Not the best of subscription gifts ever, but you know, if you're going to do the part work then you may as well subscribe to get some free stuff, because free stuff's always good. This is obviously the look at what's coming up brochure. So we have, yeah, it's based on Sailor Milan's aircraft apparently. I don't know. I don't do military stuff, so I'm sure he's a famous pilot, and yeah, so it gives you information about stuff. And the model is going to be quite big, half a metre long, 62 centimetres wide, so that's just over 2 foot. That's quite impressive. The magazine's going to be build story, about fighter squadrons, about air aces, war in the air, and Britain at war. So yeah, I haven't seen anything about how many issues there are. So I don't know. It is a Hachette part work, so the Terminator is 120. So yeah, I don't know. I would have thought that they would have to tell you up front how many parts there were going to be, but as yet it doesn't. Don't know. Surprising. I would have thought it would have said complete in so many issues. Let's just have a quick look at the card thing. It just says, yeah, 1/18 scale, a unique building in your magazine, small print, not for under the age of 14, requires batteries, all parts belong to a kit. It doesn't say. Standard remote are part of your subscription. Usual price $9.99. But unless I'm just glancing over it, it doesn't say how many issues there are. That's a bit off. That's not on really. They should always tell you up front about these things. They might do extra issues at the end, but they should always tell you how many there's going to be. So I'm a bit yeah, that's not on. I disagree with that. They should tell you up front. It's probably 100, but might be 120. But you don't know before you get into it. So, yeah. Anyway, onwards with the build. Let's have a look. The first thing in this is the building part. Make sure you've got all the right bits. There's 3 cogs and an extra cog and an assembly, bits and screws and things. So let's have a look. Onwards with the build. It says to use the mount and the assembly template. We've got these different. Let's have a look. Yes, one's got a screw hole in it and one's got a smaller hole in it. So 103. Conveniently, they put them that way up, so you can't tell which way up it is. I don't know. Does it say? 103 and 104 are very similar. 103 has a higher central boss than parts 104. 104 has ribs joining the central boss to the outer edge. Okay, so that's 4. So it's 3 that I need. So that's the one without the central ribs sticking through the middle there. So we'll pop that in there. Ensure it fits snugly. Yes, okay, yeah, that could have been one picture. Let's turn that over. Fit the central cog into the centre with the teeth going upwards. There we go, that goes down into there. Yeah, teeth go in there. Right, get one of the propellers and one of the cogs and fit it on. There's a bayonet hole and obviously a bayonet strip on there. Let's fit that onto there with all of them. Let's fit all of them together. So there we go. They're all the same. So it doesn't matter which way round you have those. Repeat with the other 2 propellers. Ensure the cogs are pushed firmly into place. Yes, they don't go all the way home. You can see a bit sticking out, but there is a bit sticking out in the picture as well. So I'm sure that's okay. Fit them over the middle of the mount as indicated by the red arrow. Not red arrows, I just put them onto there. The cylindrical part of each blade fits into the neck of the central hub as indicated by the blue arrow. Yeah, I figured that. So they go on there. It's easy. The blades fit snugly into the recesses to ensure they're at the correct angle. So yeah, these get this shaping on the edge here ensures that they're at the correct angle. Now there is there differences? There's the different bit with that. So I'm assuming we just need to have them all in the same direction because they could go either way up. Oh, they can't go either way up because that only goes one way round. So let's get all of those laid down in there. Put them in, put the top bit on. That's got one mark that's different. What does it say? It's just got pointing towards one of them, but doesn't really say. I don't think it matters which way up that goes, or which way it goes triangularly. So use a screw to put that together. A screw with a screwdriver. Put that in there. Make sure everything's lined up and sitting together before I tighten the screw down. There we go. So in theory, turning one should turn the others. Just like that. There we go. So that's pretty much that. I don't think you need that anymore. It's not part of the models. It's supplied to ensure you have the correct angle. Useful for storing the propeller assembly at this stage. So yeah, they say just keep it on it. But you know, if you don't need it, throw it away. One extra screw as ever, and obviously that. Then we got a notch on there, which is going to line up with that one there. So that is the completed work. You shouldn't even put that on there, but obviously I'm going to because I can. So that is the completed work, and obviously the propellers rotate like that. So I'm assuming, I don't know, I've never really looked at propellers. I know helicopter propellers do that, but I've not noticed that you know, front mounted propellers would do that. But I assume it's to do with obviously getting more airflow through and angling things. So yeah, there we go. Let's have a look through the rest of this. We've got the story of the Spitfire, a new specification. That'll be quite interesting, assuming you like that sort of thing. fighter squadrons of the Battle of Britain, the war in the air. But oh, 2 pages of that. There we go, extra pages of information and stuff. And then Britain at War 1940, about Dunkirk. And coming in issue 2, next set of parts, motor housing together with propeller gear sets to fit the spinner and propeller blades. So yeah, sort of the other end of that. Yeah, that's that. And I wasn't going to be going ahead with building it and doing it, so I'm still not, and I'm even less likely to, as they haven't told me how many issues it's going to be. There's no planning and to be done. But I do have a propeller, which I shall put aside and have a look at next to the X-Wing at some point, just to see how the size matches up, because that's quite meaty. That's quite a good. I mean, it's got a good weight to it, being mainly metallic as well. So yeah, it's an interesting build, but not one that I'm going to be following through with. But hopefully this has given you an insight. If you were on the fence about it, then it may have pushed you one way or the other. Not that I condone pushing people off of fences, but So there you go. Spitfire air power. I don't know what the air power bit is, but model of the Spitfire Mk1a, Battle of Britain legend from Hachette. And that's what you get in issue 1, which is cheap. So yeah, if you've got any interest in the Spitfire, go ahead and build one. If you haven't, then you don't have to. So thanks for watching. I shall see you soon for more of other builds, but yeah, I don't think this is going to continue as a build for me, but it might be for you. If you are, let me know. If you already subscribed to it, I'm a little bit slow off the mark getting this one because I didn't really intend to follow it through and build it, but I saw it in the newsagents today and I thought I'll get the first one. So thank you for watching. I'll see you on some other builds, and have fun. Bye.